106.
Let's wait for someone to come on. So here we are, Monday morning. Wall framing in progress. We are getting our system figured out for framing with our prefabricated wall truss system. So you can see the trusses that I've shown in the past laying down in the yard just waiting to get put in place are now being put together to form our deep wall cavities, which we will fill with Roxol. So we've got them all labeled. You can see the legend written on the webs there. We've got them all laid out in order that they go together. And then as we start framing them, you can see we're essentially following framing practices. Top and bottom plates are going in, but in this case we need two of them because we've got an inside stud wall and an outside stud wall. Up at the top here, we've got a single stud in place holding the top of the wall together. And now that they're all joined together, the next step is to square them up and then install some T-bracing. So let me just go over to the wall we've got standing up to show you what that looks like. So here's the wall we did last week and got stood up. So while it was still lying down, these let-in metal T-braces were installed to square the wall and hold it square as we go up. And then the wood fiberboard, which is the exterior insulation, was also installed while it was lying down. I'll show you what that looks like in profile here. This is the wood fiberboard right here that you're looking at. So it's about 2.5 inches thick. It's got about an R10 insulation value. And on the outside, it's got tongue and groove joints. And this is, believe it or not, the backing for our rain screen cavity. This replaces Tyvek. We don't need to install a Tyvek barrier over this. It's taped at the exposed edges with a Sega product tape, which is a weatherproof tape installed on a primer. You can see some of the primer there. And that forms the backing for our rain screen. That's the weatherproof line of our house. On the inside, flipping around again, you can see now what we've got is about a 20-inch deep cavity that's accessible from the inside, so we can install our bats once we get closed in. Question from Your Builder. Our air barrier, so once we have this closed in, once we have the floors installed and the roof installed, we're going to insulate it with our Roxol, and then on the inside face of these studs, we're installing 5/8 OSB as our air barrier. And that OSB will be taped with another Sega tape, the Rissan tape, and that will be the line of our air barrier. Now what we've done at the floors to make that air barrier continuous is we've notched the top of our studs here, and so our structural floor headers go into those notches. The OSB then runs up past them, so it'll be a straight line past the floor, and then the floor is installed on hangers on the inside face of that OSB. And all the nail penetrations for the hangers will be done through nail sealing tape, so they won't be a problem either. So that's what it looks like. We've got our window bucks installed, 3/4 inch plywood. That'll get taped for air barriers as well, wherever there's a seam. And that forms our rough opening. And we have a little bit more of the white wig glove tape to install. We just ran out of primer on Friday, so we couldn't finish installing the rest of that. So here we are framing up the wall that we've got lying down.
217.5? Yeah. Okay.
It's coming together quickly now. I think we're going to see a lot of progress this week as we get these walls
217.
put together lying down. The finished R value of our walls is going to be pushing mid R90s. We have 4 layers of Roxol going into this cavity, and we've got the wood fiberboard on the outside to boot, so we're over R90 for these. I've mentioned in the past the reason for the extremely high R value in our walls is because we don't have ideal exposure on our site, and so to compensate for having less solar energy making it into our house, we have to beef up the insulation in our walls in order to achieve our passive house performance. The reason that these studs are built with this thermally broken here is so that the cavity is a consistent width for installing those bats. What is the HDD? Sorry, I don't understand the question. Can you expand on HDD? So this is the big rough opening in the living room. That'll be a big lift and slide window. The notch in the top of the wall here will actually hold an LVL. Sorry, there we go. Heating degree days. We're about 4,500 heating degree days here in Ottawa. We've got a full crew here today. I actually get to swing the hammer for a bit, which is great. Work with the guys. We're laying out plates as we go. And we're going to lift these walls in as few sections as possible so we can have continuous support for the plates as we go. There'll obviously be a change in the floor level. Hi, welcome. Viewer from Turkey, that's great. So as you can see on these walls, we've got some places where, great, from Venezuela as well, welcome guys. We've installed some temporary protection for the edges of our wood fiber board. The reason for that is obviously as we go up, the weather changes daily, so we're protecting the edges as we go, make sure we don't get any water damage on the edges. Once we get those butted together and sealed with the Pavicol that comes with that product, then we don't have to worry about that anymore. But in the meantime, wherever we haven't taped, we're keeping it safe with plastic. The windows we've got for this house will be Gallhofer windows. They're triple glazed, they're made in Austria, supplied by Herman Timber Frame Homes, just outside of Ottawa here. Really looking forward to seeing those installed. I got to go and visit one of our other projects in Chelsea just yesterday that has those windows installed, and they're beautiful and very comfortable. So those will be nice. Our doors as well, our entrance doors are Gallhofer. You can see, maybe if I look here, the system was designed so that our above grade walls, the exterior of our wood fiber board ends up lining up flush with our foundation installation. So we've got a nice straight line up from grade, foundation, transitions to above grade wall. That's going to make our siding details very nice. Selfie camera, alright, I'll switch it over. There we are. So thanks everyone for watching today. You can check out our build at webuildahome.ca. Take a look there, and we're blogging about this as we go. And we will see everyone later on. We'll blog again. I look forward to speaking with everyone next time. Thanks again for watching.